Hello guys. I just wanted to post a video about my mashup crew look for this week, which is FX and Guillermo del Toro, and I wanted to show up the build up for this look. So I'm cheap and I still use cheap effects because I can get away with it. And I am putting painter's tape on my face to help hide my nose and the bridge of my nose, so I know I look ridiculous. But I'm doing a look for Abe Sapien from Hellboy, which was my favorite character from that movie. And now I've got the build-up. Now I still have some pointy and harsh edges. I'm going to be covering that up with some liquid latex and paper. I'm just going to smooth out some of those hard edges. Now I already have my bald cap applied, and the caps that I bought off of Amazon are rather large in the back, and I don't need anybody to really see the back of my head. I'm just taking a frontal picture. So I went ahead and cut off a large portion of that back because I didn't need it, and I'm going to use that to cover over my nose area. Just adding more latex and tissue. I'm using Cottonelle, if anybody really wants to know. I'm using toilet paper on my face. And I am going to let this dry before applying the other portion. And I can't breathe. I do not have nose holes in there, so I'm going to be a mouth breather for the rest of this video. So that's the part of my bald cap that I cut off and I no longer needed, and I just kind of cut it in a general shape to fit over those areas. I applied Prozaid to it, and now I'm just going to glue it to my face. Now this video does not go into full detail of all of the painting steps, and it's mostly because I was up all night doing this, and I got tired quick of filming. I have that little portion of my lip that's sticking out, and so I just cut it up to the tip of the nose, and I'm going to do a crisscross applesauce, lay one side over the other over that top lip portion. Aww. And then we'll continue with the rest. My eyes, I'm not really too worried about the eyes because I'm just going to black them out, so no one's really gonna see that area. I know I look like a hot mess right now. Trying to do prosthetics on your own face really, really sucks. And I'm gonna take another piece and place it over that top portion. And then it's gonna clip to another hot mess look. I wound up gluing more parts of it down because I wanted to save what eyebrows I do have, which isn't a whole lot. Yeah, that's my hot mess. I look almost like a Whoville character. Now I'm moving on to a product that I absolutely love and I use a lot. I use it to hide all my seams, and it's a great build-up latex product called Zombie Skin, which I will show you here in just a second. I prefer the syringes. And literally, sorry for that notification. It's meant to be built up. So it's a fabulous filler as a result. Zombie Skin is made here in Ohio by the fabulous Joe Glenn, and highly recommend this stuff. It is fabulous. I use it for all sorts of applications, not just as filler or as a seam hider, but in a lot of my special effects, and especially the haunted house, I use it a lot. So I'm doing several coats, letting it dry in between, just squirting it on my face, taking a sponge and laying it over. And after, about an hour or so of doing this to my face, I got tired. Big sigh. I'm over this already. Can you tell? Now I have to do the paint job. I'm blacking out the eyes, like I said. No one's really gonna see these. Got my eye holes. My eye holes. At this point, I'm really wishing that I had cut nose holes out. But you know what? For the look, I'll suffer for a little while. That's okay. I suffered more than I wanted to when I was taking this off. So that was a process. And now, my favorite blue in the world. I love this. Adding some blue body paint. I love this blue. With my kabuki brush, and I will add it to my neck, my shoulders, my chest area, leaving a large portion of my chest area open for the white paint. Anytime I paint myself blue like this, I always think Avatar. It always makes me think Avatar. I wound up going back and correcting this because the white necessarily isn't that wide on the top portion of the head, so I wound up going back and correcting it. But this is just it. Tapping on white body paint with my sponge. Going on my neck, and then I'll wind up doing my chest. I look like a blue who. I really, really do. I can't get over how much. Maybe I need to do a Dr. Seuss look. Maybe that's in my future. And now I'm taking a darker blue body paint, and I'm using a filbert brush, a wide filbert brush, and I'm laying it flat to get those wider parts, and then I'm twisting it around to the thinner portion of the brush to create those lines. And I'll be doing this to my shoulders, my arms, my neck, and my head. You can see my terrible bald cap job in the back there. Like I said, no one's really going to see the back after I take the photos, so I'm not too worried about it. Of course, if I was doing this on somebody else, A, it probably would have had an actual prosthetic. And B, you know that bald cap be on point. And then in another clip, moving forward, I wound up actually taking the dry brush, the same filbert that I used for that blue body paint, and fading out some of those lines. Looking at my reference photo over there on my laptop. This is pretty darker on the shoulder area, but the more you get to the chest, the lighter it fades out, and I didn't feel like breaking out the airbrush to do it, so a dry brush is just what I used. And then as you can see over the lip area, he does have kind of a fishy mouth and a very flat top lip, so that's why I went ahead and just kept the bald cap over my lips. Or lip, I should say, on the top lip. And that Cupid's bow is pretty separated. Kind of sticking with the fishy merman theme, fishy mouth. And that awkward shape just below my nose is perfect for that separation point. There's a distinct line or elevation right above his top lip, Abe Sapien. So that worked to my advantage at that point. And then one step back, two step forward. I filmed this in an awkward time, but I put this with the other pieces. I actually made the gills that I'm going to be gluing to me out of paper that I painted, and then I folded the edges, cut the uh, gills just a little bit in a few sections, so that way they would adhere to my neck better and they would conform a little bit better. But yeah, so I just cut them out of paper and painted them, and with some red and brown paint and then some white paint for some stripes, and then I took a Sharpie and colored the edges. I painted the underside, even though you're not going to see them, just in case, and the parts that might be visible, adding some Prozade to those edges that I bent over and folded. And that will be the part that sticks to my neck, letting that Prozade dry a little bit so it gets tacky. And now it's adhesion time. I wanted to get those blue stripes because I wouldn't be able to see very well with those on. It's kind of hard to move after you get those on. So got the blue stripes down, and then I'll add all the other details after these are on. But hindsight's 2020. I should have probably made these initial gills a little bit smaller, but it works. It'll do for now. Sticking those on. There's the first set. I made 6 total, 3 for each side. And then I painted the last set because they look like they're inset in his cheek. And I know I mixed red and brown paint for the gills on the paper, so I didn't bother taking off the blue paint. It's okay if it mixes with the red, and you can see it gets that brick red, dark red color. So I don't mind if that mixes in a little bit with it. Just helps add to the color variant and help it match it a little bit better. And you can see there's some skin, regular skin showing this because I had tried to just eyeball it and I eyeballed bad. So I had to wipe off part of it and restart over again. But now I'm kind of happy with it. So I'll go over those naked areas with some of that light blue paint and just touch up in that spot. Voila. Instant gills. And again, it's almost getting time to where this video cuts off and I get pretty tired of trying to film and do this makeup, because at this point I think it's like, what, 5 in the morning, and I'm done. Adding the white paint, just like on the other gills. And then I'll go back and add black around. And then I added a little bit of eyeshadow, more so on the top outline than the bottom, just to kind of give it that inset look. And then everything else you see is just a paint job after this. Fix the eyes and fix the nose. Added more detail around the mouth and a lot more detail on the neck. The next clip will be me adding some just detail work in between the spaces of the stripes on the head. You could probably do this easy with a stencil, but I was not going to go try to find my stencils and dig them out. So I just took a liner brush and started making circle design squiggly things. And there you go. This was the end product, the finished thing. Hung a sheet up behind me and took some pictures, and this is what they look like. So I thank everybody for checking this out and being patient with me. Sorry for the short cut off video, but thanks Thanks for hanging out with me today. Aftershock Art, Guillermo del Toro, and Abe Sapien. Man, this was so hard at the end. Have a good day.